Hey everyone, it's Rebecca here with Team Ladybug. I am here with a set of nails I designed from this month's Beetle Box. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Okay, let's go over what we got in this month's Beetle Box. Everyone who got the box this month got 2 gel liners. These are Queen Ladybug liners. Could have been a variety of them. You also got a really pretty daisy decal binder. And you also got 2 different Ladybug decals. These are decals. They may have other things, but they're Ladybugs. And the decal journal is the same for everyone. It's got a cute little measuring thing. Just pop it in there. And pages that you can put your decals in. And it snaps shut. And it's textured. I love that. The liner gels, those are a variety, and you could have gotten any one of 2 different ones, but I'm not even entirely sure how many there are in the whole set. Those will be releasing soon. And here I'm just providing you with an overview of all the products I used for these nails. I'm going to tell you what they are as we go along. The first thing we're going to apply is Team Ladybug No Buff Press on Nail Primer, and this is to etch the nail so we can adhere the base gel to it. Then you're going to come in with Red Carpet Rapid Ready Press On Gel, which is HEMA-Free, and we're going to put that on and cure for 60 seconds, a nice thin layer to hold our gel polish. And for this first step, I am using a sponge applicator. I am going to use number 21 Banana, and I'm just going to apply it to the nail. And then I'm going to apply number 23 Natural Pink over to the side here. Then I'm going to apply number 25 Lilac over in between the 2 of those. Then we'll go right into number 27, which is Robin's Egg. It's a really pretty blue. And also number 15, Neon Lime. And number 20, Bubblegum. And I'm just haphazardly putting these on. I don't really have a particular order. And I'm going to use my sponge, and I'm going to dab this in. I want a pale background so it doesn't have to be super vibrant. And then I'm going to cure that. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm just going to reapply on where I see on the sponge the same colors that I used. Anything that I want to stand out a little bit more, like the Neon Lime and the Bubblegum and the Robin's Egg. And I think maybe add a little bit of that natural pink. And let's just go ahead and also add the banana and the lilac. So we have a second layer of this color, and we're just going to put it on. It seemed to soak in pretty much into the sponge. These are the Walgreen sponges that Tracy uses all the time. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'm just smushing this on. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want a base color under here, not too bright. It does not have to be as vibrant as the colors are, kind of muted. And then I'm going to cure that. And I'm going to come back in and just add a couple more colors, just the ones that I really want to pop out on this nail design, and not necessarily all the colors, but let's go ahead and add those. And it seems like those washed out the most, so I just want to add them back in because the other colors popped a little bit more. There we go. Just dab it on, and I think that looks good. So now I'm going to cure again. Okay, maybe it wasn't the best idea to use the side. You'd probably want to use the long or wide end for this. Now I'm going to get the color Silk from the Crystalline Cat Eye collection. This has a very silvery frosted cat eye base, so if we do the 4 sides with the magnet and cure that, it's going to give us a nice frosted look. So both sides, top, bottom, maybe adjust the sides again, and then there's the look I'm going for. So cure that once I'm happy. Okay, now we're going to come in with Team Ladybug Velvet Touch Matte Top Gel. A nice thin layer of that, and then cure for 60 seconds. Okay, so this is what it looks like, frosted look, and you're going to need Ladybug Luster Wet Look Top Gel or Queen Ladybug Crystal Embossing Gel. I'm going to go ahead and use Ladybug Luster Wet Look Top Gel. It's a little bit thinner. If you're not quick and you don't want to flash cure, you want to take your time, I suggest you use the Crystal Embossing Gel. But go ahead and draw your lines. We're just going to do little spring leaves. This will make the leaves shiny and glittery, and the rest of the background will stay matte from the matte top coat. So I'm going to do 3 leaves. And I'm going to draw thin lines with the center little veins of the leaves. They don't have to be incredibly detailed, but I do want to have the veins in there so you understand that they're leaves and not flower petals. Although you could draw little flowers, I think that would be really cute too. I just want a pretty spring design, and I want it to go with the decals that we have in our Ladybug box. So go ahead and draw your leaves or your flowers or whatever you want, and it'll just give it a really cute shimmery look where the wet look top gel is, and the matte will be shimmery but not the same kind of shimmer. So I'm going to cure that. In the box, you could have gotten any one of a number of 2 different decals, and I am going to choose to use one of these. These are a couple different ones that were in the box. I'm not sure what everybody got, but you would have gotten 2 decals, just different ones. So let's go ahead with the rest of our nails. Make sure you use the Team Ladybug No Buff Press-On Nail Primer, and either use the Restore Repair Rubber Base or Rapid Ready Press-On Gel over the top of that. You always want a base coat. I'm going to use the same colors that I used before. You can use colors that you have, but if you got any one of these colors in your Beetle Box, I recommend going with some of these. I'm just putting these on the sponge in an order that I think looks good. It's not necessarily the same order that I used last time, but we're using the wide side, and we're just going to put all of this on here. Okay, at this point, I believe I realized I was out of camera, and so you can see where I've put the rest of the gel on this sponge. Go ahead and apply your gel how you want. Try to find colors that are close to this if you didn't get any one of these. These Queen Ladybug liner gels will be available and releasing soon. It's a soak-off formula, no wipe, tack-free finish, and the brush is just amazing. So I hope you get to use these, and I hope you try the different techniques that I'm showing you with this gel polish. Okay, now I am showing you where and how I'm sponging this. You don't have to do it that way, but I also want to see where on the nail my gel polish is going. I'm just going to dab it on. I don't want it too thick, so I'm going to cure and then come back for a second round and add again. I did not have to add more gel polish to the sponge because I added plenty this time, but you know, put your colors where you want. Looks like I do need some more gel polish for the pink because I want a little bit more pink, and there's not a lot on there. And I'm also going to add a little bit more of the robin's egg. Let's just put that on. Okay, in the center, and it doesn't have to be perfect. When you're happy with the color, go ahead and cure, fully cure for 60 seconds. Now I'm going to add again the Crystalline Cat Eye in Silk over the whole nail. Take your magnet and pull on the one side, the other side, the top, and the bottom, and then just adjust until you see the shimmer go across the whole nail, then cure. All right, we will again take Team Ladybug Velvet Touch Matte Top Gel, apply that thinly to the entire nail, and fully cure. Now let's select which decals we want to use on the nail. I think I want to go with a ladybug and a flower. So I've selected this ladybug to put on, and I want to tell you, if your decal is a little bit thicker or it's not exactly flat, you can apply it, but then use the body heat from your fingers if the person's fingers are cold, or if you are doing this on a press-on nail, use your body heat and make that decal bend around the nail. And let's get also a flower. This one looks good. So again, take it off of the sheet and apply it to the nail using body heat if you need it to curve around. In order to seal that in, we will again use the Velvet Touch Matte Top Gel, Team Ladybug. What a great product this is. It's a nice thin viscosity, and it'll still give us the texture to our ladybug decals. For the next step, I want to emboss our ladybug and our flowers. So I'm going to use Queen Ladybug Crystal Embossing Gel. I am also going to use my 9mm brush, and we will do a couple different techniques for this. So get a little bit of embossing gel. This clear whipped cream gel cures to a tack-free finish. And we are just going to paint the entire body of the ladybug to make it easy on ourselves. Just make sure you have the whole body, just the body. Just the body. And I'm going to put that in the lamp, cure for 7 seconds. Now I'm going to take my tweezers or any really fine tool you have, and I'm going to indent in the center to separate the wings. It's not going to go all the way down, but it is going to make a nice little dent in the center because we only cured it for 7 seconds in the lamp. And you can get a little bit of bumpy detail, or any kind of detail you want in there, and it'll show up. Go ahead and fully cure that. Now I'm going to come back with the Queen Ladybug Crystal Embossing Gel, and I'm going to do the flower. I'm not going to do every single petal at once. I'm going to do one petal, skip a petal, do a second petal, and then I'm going to flash cure. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same all the way around the flower. The reason why I'm doing it like this is because it's really warm in this room, and the gel, even though it does hold its shape, it does move a little bit, and I don't want my petals to run together. Then I'm going to come back in and do the center. You could add caviar beads or crystal, but I'm just going to leave the center with the little black dots in it and fully cure this. Now I am taking the Crystal Embossing Gel, and I'm going to draw some lines. You can draw wavy lines, you could do a pattern, whatever you want. I just want this to be long lines, not quite like it's on a leaf or anything, but just a really cute background that will have shimmer in it and set off the whole nail design. It's up to you what you want to do. I just thought stripes would be cute on here for spring. So I'm just going to draw with the Crystal Embossing Gel. You can see it doesn't really move at all for this, and you can go back in and adjust your line, make it thicker, or if you've done them too thick, you can make them thinner, but you'd have to wipe off probably the whole rest of what you've done. So go ahead. I'm still using the 9mm just for this. You could use a longer brush, but I don't suggest it because the Crystal Embossing Gel is a little bit thicker, and I think it's easier to control with the 9mm brush. So I'm just going through and adjusting some of these, and then I'm going to add the rest of mine. It looks sort of like a little shimmery rainbow effect in the background, and I just love it. So adjust, and when you're happy with it, you can fully cure that Crystal Embossing Gel. The other thing I decided to do was to add some Crystal Embossing Gel and attach some crystals. So I spilled the crystals all over, but we're going to just pick them up and go with it. And you can add this step or you can leave it off, whatever you like. Here I'm going to add some caviar beads just to add a little bit more in there. Not very many, just a few, just for some extra detail. And go ahead and adjust this however you need to, and then fully cure, and that nail is done. Okay, even though this is a liner gel, you can also use it as a full cover gel. We've already added our No Buff and our Rapid Ready Press-On Gel, and I am using number 26 Spring Green. This is a really, really pretty color, and I'm just going to cover the whole nail with it. You can do as I'm doing and use the brush that comes with it, or you can put it on a palette or in a palette and use a separate brush if you'd like. Either way, put this on. Don't put it on too thick. If you put it on too thick, take some off. Fully cure for 60 seconds. Okay. So again, I'm just going to come back in with the sponge that I had previously used. I am adding some of number 15 Neon Lime, and I am also going to be adding number 21 Banana. And just to round it out, let's add a little bit more of the Natural Pink, which is number 23. So those colors, just want to give it a little bit of off of the green. I don't want it to be like a full green because we're going to make this look like a leaf. So kind of a springy leaf with a little bit of different colors. You know, it's just coming in. I'm going to go in and add number 26, which is the spring green, just to give it a little bit more of that springy green color. And because these colors have soaked into the sponge, it's not going to put too much on. Just go ahead and do it how you think it looks good. After I've cured that for 60 seconds, I'm going to add number 5, which is the white. I'm going to clean the brush off pretty well. It's a nice, fine, single line brush. And if you want to use a liner brush, you can, but for this, you don't need to. See how fine line that is? It's really, really clean, and you can maneuver the brush the way you want. It's just all over really nice liner. So I am just making sort of leaf lines. Make it look like the veins of a leaf. It does not have to be perfect. These are offset a little because the lines don't come out at exactly the same point. And then I'm going to cure once I'm happy with the whole thing for 60 seconds. Okay, now I've got number 10, which is Bottle Green, which is actually one of my favorite colors in these liner gels because it's sort of sheer. And I'm going to take the end of the sponge and I'm just going to go all the way around the edge to give it a little bit of definition of the leaf, where it would be sort of a shading shadow effect. And this is going to make the nail look a lot more realistic as far as the leaf goes. Got a little fuzzy there. I'm going to get it off and then readjust with the sponge. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to fully cure again for 60 seconds, and then we'll come back in and finish. Okay, now you're going to want to use Team Ladybug Velvet Touch Matte Top Gel, just a nice thin layer, top coat over that, and cure for 60 seconds. Let's add another one of these ladybugs, this time one with all the dots. And again, I'm going to use some heat of my fingers to push that on and make it conform to the shape of the nail. And it may take a minute, you know, just keep pressing until you're happy with how it looks. Just double checking here that it's fully adhered, and may have to use some more pressure, but it looks good. Now, again, I'm going to take the Velvet Touch Matte Top Gel, sandwich it in between, and cure for 60 seconds. Now, let's come back with some Ladybug Luster Wet Look Top Gel, and we're going to just do some drops of rain. So this is a really cute look. Because the Wet Look Top Gel is a thinner viscosity than the Crystal Embossing Gel, I can make these really flat and just shiny like little drops of rain. I'm going to put a few drops here and there, and then I'll take my brush and just flatten out with like the side of the brush and make them a little bit bigger, sort of trying to keep raindrop shapes like drops of gel polish that look like little raindrops, but I don't want them all the same height. You know, some of them have dropped first and spread out a little, and I just want to add a little bit of interest to the nail because it's matte. I'm going to make them bigger and some smaller and just little shiny drops of rain here and there. Then I can flash cure for 15 seconds. Now I'm going to come back in with the Crystal Embossing Gel and work on my Ladybug. I'm going to show you a different technique where you just do one side then the other. So if you don't want to use the last technique with the tweezers, just paint one half side of your Ladybug wing and flash cure that for at least 15 seconds. And then come back in and paint the other half side of the wing, leaving a little bit of space. Flash cure that, and you can see the definition. And then I'm going to come back in and just finish his little head, put a dot on the end for his head, and then I will fully cure the nail at this point after I'm done with that. Now I've got black whipped cream gel. This is Team Ladybug Whipped Cream Gel, and I'm just going to go over the dots because I had matte top coated this and the dots are not as defined or bright as I want. I'm just touching up with the 9mm brush and redoing my dots, making some a little bigger. You can add more dots if you want or just leave it the way it is. I'm going to use my favorite glitter from the Gumdrop Gardens collection, Visionary. I've applied Queen Ladybug Rapid Ready Press-On Gel already to the nail, and now I'm going to take my baby fan brush. I'm just going to smush it out a little bit, and I'm going to pick up the glitter. So I'm just basically shoveling this on, and not in any particular like fashion, just making sure it's flat onto the nail. And once I have that pressed down, I can go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. Sandwich that in another layer of press-on gel and cure. Then you can come back in with the Velvet Touch Matte Top Gel and coat and cure. That's all I'm doing with this nail. I love matte glitter nails. I only need 4 colors on my palette right now. I need Robin's Egg Blue, Neon Lime Green, Bubblegum Pink, and Natural Pink. Go ahead and get your Crystalline Cat Eye Gel in Silk and apply it to our pre-prepped nail. Then magnetize it as we have done, and go ahead and grab some of the 2 pinks and put them together on the either opposite corner of the nail. So one in the bottom right corner and one in the top left corner. Just blend these out. You don't want them dark. You want to be able to see through a little bit. Then go ahead and get the blue-green color mixed to your desired color and sponge that on the opposite sides of the pink. And again, you don't want this too dark. You want it a little bit sheer, and don't fully cover the nail. Leave some in the center blank without any and then fully cure for 60 seconds when you're happy with the design. You can take a little bit gel off if you want with the sponge. Okay, while that's curing, I'm going to get number 5 white and put some of that on my palette. And I'm also going to get number 25 Lilac and also number 20 Bubblegum. Then I'm going to get my ombre brush, and I'm only going to use the white for this. I'm going to put it on my brush and then wipe it out so that my bristle hairs are separated. And I'm going to make a little bit of sort of fabric-y looking lines. So this is basically just lines for texture lines in here, fabric texture kind of lines, just on opposite sides where the pink was. And then once you like that, go ahead and get your purple lilac and wipe that out again the same way you did with your white. And we're going to create some stripes. So we're making a plaid nail. You're going to go down, and instead of drawing the little lines for the fabric, you're going to just use the ombre brush as a striping tool, but the long way. Then we'll take pink and we'll go the opposite side of where the purple was, and we'll come through, pull down a little bit so that we still can see it, but it blends into the purple just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and turn it sideways and do the same thing. Pull a little stripe together to bring our plaid together. And then you can go ahead and get some of the purple. You don't have to wipe your brush out in between, and blend it through, doing your little lines. And maybe a little bit more white in there just to make it pop. And pull out, and there's your fabric. Now I'm going to get my liner brush in Neon Lime. I'm going to wipe it off as best I can because I want very tiny lines. And I'm just going to draw a really super thin stripe down the center and across where the top of my little fabric plaid was. So there is a nice little stripe there and a nice stripe going the other way as well. This can be as thin or as thick as you want. Now I'm going to take my number 26 Spring Green and wipe that brush off. And here I'm going to do my little stitches, my little fabric stitches. The only thing about using an ombre brush for this is you can't make it sort of a diagonal stitch, and I love that diagonal stitch in plaid. So here's where I'm going to take my time and draw a little stitch. And then I can fully cure and top coat this with matte. I just want to show you what it looks like in matte. I think it's going to be better in shiny, but we'll see what it looks like. And here it is in matte. You still get a little bit of the shimmer, but not much. So let's go ahead and top it with the Ladybug Luster Wet Look Top Gel. Then you're really going to see a nice plaid shimmer on here. So I'm going to top coat that, cure it for 60 seconds, and that's it. Well, we really hope that you enjoyed the March 2025 Beetle Box. I hope you like these nails that I designed for you, and I hope that you can use some of these techniques in other nail designs and or do some of these nail designs that I did. Thanks for watching another month of Team Ladybug Beetle Box.